Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. If you're watching us live on Facebook, thank you for that. And if you're checking us out later, we do upload these shows to www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. You can check them out there. We have audio and video versions, which are free. Or you can always check these shows out on our Facebook page. They do keep them up. You can check them out in the video section, or you can scroll through the timeline. They keep them there pervasively. Getting into your traffic this morning, I-12 is flowing. Some minor delays at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. 64 looking clear this morning. However, some heavier delays on Greenville Springs. Of course, schools having more kids returning to school this morning. Yesterday was 6th and 9th graders. Today is 7th and 10th graders. And of course, tomorrow being 8th and 11th graders, with everybody, including seniors, starting back 5-day-a-week instruction next week. So expect traffic around schools to get a little heavier. Of course, we are looking at big delays around Live Oak High School up there in Watson, and some delays on 16 in front of Denham Springs High School. Walker High looking pretty okay, only minor delays on Burgess Avenue and minor delays on 190. It's currently 70 degrees, 89 your high today, so we're not going to quite get up to that 90 mark, of course, with the heat index. We'll probably be somewhere in the low 90s, but not too bad today. 73 degrees your overnight low. You're looking at a 20% chance of rain this afternoon. Pretty typical late summer storm. Don't forget to bring your umbrella just in case. Also talking about that weather, we are looking south into the southwest Gulf of Mexico. There was an interesting development. Not unlike Marco earlier in the year, wherein a storm off the Yucatan Peninsula has kind of stalled out right over the Gulf, where it is warm and is gathering up moisture and power, and has the potential, about 70% over the next 5 days, to develop into a tropical depression. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly it develops and where it heads once it does get pushed north. It's going to head somewhere towards the Gulf Coast. Right now they're thinking spaghetti models are kind of all over the place, which is all those different models they use to sort of track these storms. So keep an eye on the South Gulf, but we do have another development there. Last night, Denham Springs High School hosted a candlelight vigil for Remy Hidalgo. On Tuesday at practice, Remy suffered what is believed to be heat stroke. He was transported to a local hospital where they kept him and tried to keep him under control. Tried to stabilize him. Once they were able to get him pretty well stabilized, they airlifted him to Children's Hospital in New Orleans, where he is now on an ECMO machine, which is usually a treatment that lasts about 5 days. What it does is it allows the organs to rest, sort of resets the circulatory system by reoxygenating blood and pulling the blood out and recirculating it in. So it's going to be a lot of prayers last night. Huge crowd at Denham Springs High School. You can check out some photos and a video of the initial crowd on our Facebook page. And of course, there is a photo gallery there as well. And just lots of kids, lots of parents, lots of administrators. And it was very interesting, too. Lots of players and coaches from different schools. There was representation from Walker, Live Oak, Central. Just a lot of love in the community for Remy. He was described as a big teddy bear, and of course he is fighting now. So please, if you pray for him. If you just like to send your thoughts to he and his family, please do that as well. Again, Remy Hidalgo, a Denham Springs High School student and a football player who is currently fighting at Children's Hospital in New Orleans. Getting into your COVID-19 statistics real quick, 158,826 cases, 5,126 deaths, 2,114,145 tests. There are 145,570 recoveries, which is a great number. Those cases aren't growing as fast, but getting surges of new recoveries week over week. 678 are currently hospitalized across the state on 107 ventilators. In Livingston Parish, 3,653 cases, 71 deaths, on 37,620 tests. A bit of news about the election yesterday. Good morning, Mr. Robert Stewart. Thanks for joining us. A bit of election news yesterday. Of course, we knew that the election plan that had been represented for the fall by Secretary of State Kyle Ardwan had gone to court, being challenged about voting rights and the expanded ability to vote due to COVID-19. Federal Judge Shelley Dick released a ruling. Again, the actual trial came to an end last week, but there had to be a written ruling coming out sometime this week. Once that written ruling did come out, which was yesterday, it was in support of the governor and those who had sued the state for expanded voting ability. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. According to Federal Judge Shelley Dick, it should reflect what was done over the summer. If it was not broke, don't fix it. So they're going to be probably trying to move back in that direction. Ardwan will have to come up with a new plan. Of course, over the summer, it was expanded ability to absentee vote, as well as expanded early voting to 2 weeks. So we will see what kind of plan the governor and the Secretary of State come up with for the fall elections. Although bars are opening in Livingston Parish, Livingston Parish does not meet that gating criteria, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of issues those bars run into. 5% positivity is what has to be achieved by a parish over a 2-week period for bars to reopen. Of course, bars having been closed since about mid-July. Livingston Parish over the past 2 weeks is currently at a 7.9% positivity rate, but of course there are a lot of bars who are just saying, well, I'm just going to go ahead and open and you can do what you need to do. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of back and forth or any kind of argument over that. But again, according to the governor's phase 3 requirements, 5% positivity is what is required for bars to open. Currently, Livingston Parish at about 7.9% over the last 2 weeks. Another bit of interesting news, Tuesday afternoon, grumblings of a vaccine started to come out, especially in the national news circuit. Yesterday afternoon, President Donald Trump at his daily press conference said that they are expecting a vaccine sometime in November. There are currently 3 potential vaccines that are in stage 3 of testing, which I believe is the last stage before they start being released to the public. Essential personnel will be first, with general distribution sometime near the end of Q1 of 2021, so probably sometime around February or March. President Donald Trump said that he would be utilizing the National Guard to make rapid distribution, especially to essential workers, healthcare workers, followed by educators, trying to keep schools, give them a little bit of boost, try to keep them in business, keep those kids going to school and that kind of thing. So it's going to be, seeing exactly when that vaccine is going to come out is going to be an interesting perspective. A lot of people are suggesting that the push through is very political. Others are saying we need the vaccine, to keep essential work going. So time will tell on that. We're probably looking at sometime in November for the first round of those vaccines to come out. I want to talk about these mitigation efforts real quick so we can try to lower this positivity rate just a little bit more. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds or more. Wear a mask in public. It is a mandate. 6 feet or more of distance between yourself and others in public. Control your cough and sneezing with an elbow or a tissue, preferably your own elbow. Don't touch your face, my favorite one. 25 or less to a gathering, preferably less, and stay home if you're sick, and utilize telehealth to get in touch with your doctor and try to stay home to go to work. Recovering your traffic real quick, I-12 is flowing this morning with some minor on-ramp delays, minor delays at 4H Cove Road, River Road, and 190. 64 is clear with some heavier delays on Greenville Springs. Of course, schools are returning to more 5-day instruction. We're up to 7th and 10th graders tomorrow, 8th and 11th. And then on Monday, everybody who chooses to go back to school 5 days a week will be in school 5 days a week. So expect that school traffic to increase. Right now, looking at some heavier delays on 16 and Watson in front of Live Oak High. Of course, traffic starting to stack up in front of Denham Springs High School, as well as traffic by Walker High. So please keep that in mind on your morning commute. It's currently 70 degrees. 89 degrees is your high, so it might be cooling off just a little bit here in Louisiana. Of course, with that heat index, we'll be in the 90s, but it's better than the hundreds. 73 degrees going to be your overnight low. Potential for afternoon thunderstorms, your usual summer flare. 20% chance starting at about 3 p.m. So bring that umbrella or a poncho before you walk out for work. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Want to remind you folks that we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. We are once a week in print on Thursdays at $7 a month to get that in your mailbox. We're also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have a podcast page, which is free. We have a coronavirus page, which is free. And we also have a breaking news page, which has things like our photo galleries, which we released yesterday. We do have state and national news on there. We also have arrests and accidents on there as well, and all that is free. And of course, you can always see a lot of these stories on Facebook, but we do recommend you check our site out once a day. We do hope you have a great Thursday morning. Please keep Remy Hidalgo from Denham Springs High School in your thoughts, and we will see you tomorrow morning.